And 23, Kalia Gibson, the right fielder, will lead things off. Mari Stevens, center field, batting second. Batting third is Jace Jackson, the third baseman. Mia Alvarez, first base, batting fourth. Batting fifth, Gabrielle Willis, the left fielder. Brooklyn Morris, the pitcher, will bat sixth. Batting seventh, the designated player, Beja Allen. Christina Carlson, the catcher, will bat eighth. And Ariana Murillo, the shortstop, will bat ninth. They'll face in the circle for Alabama, the right-handed senior from Bunn, North Carolina, the transfer from UNC Wilmington, Emily Winstead. That concludes the Alabama softball pregame report presented by T-Mobile. First pitch is next here on the Crimson Tide Sports Network from Learfield. Alabama's NCAA tournament is underway. The first pitch to Kalia Gibson is a strike. 0-1 the count. And that pitch is flat foul. No balls and 2 strikes. Those pitches thrown by Emily Winstead, getting the start here today. Winstead with a 3.10 ERA and a 7-3 record on the year. 27th appearance and 9th start. She's not had a complete game. She's pitched 49 and 2/3 innings, 46 hits, 30 runs, 22 have been earned. She's walked 14, struck out 43. Opponent's batting .246 against Winstead, and she gets that one on the outside corner for a called strike 3, and that's a big first out as Kalia Gibson is retired for Jackson State.
Yeah, and this is a chance for Winstead to do something she struggled with in regionals, has not had a great postseason career back at UNC Wilmington, but she is probably tasked with trying to get that complete game here today.
First pitch to Mari Stevens is in there for a called strike.
And the biggest thing for Winstead is going to be velocity. Jackson State's coming from the SWAC. They haven't played a Power 4 team since March. They haven't seen velocity like this in a while.
The 0-1. Swung on and missed. No balls and 2 strikes on Stevens, who's batting .280, 37 and 132, 34 runs scored, 6 doubles, 2 triples, 3 homers, 32 runs driven in. The 0-2 pitch. Just a little bit low. 1 ball, 2 strikes on Stevens.
Mari Stevens does have a home run against a Power 4 team this year. That was against Washington and Hawaii, a trip we remember and think fondly of.
Indeed. The 1-2, fouled back. Stevens stays alive. 1 ball, 2 strikes. The defensive alignment for the Crimson Tide: Johnson in left, Vandegrift in center, Pruitt in right, Elstead at third, Hawkins at short, Hevlin at second, Dukeshire at first, Giles behind the plate catching Winstead, and Mighty Hubbard getting started the BP today. The 1-2, little high, 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Yeah, defense is going to be put to the test a little bit when Jackson State puts it in play. They got a lot of speed up and down this lineup, so everybody's going to have to be very sound in their fundamentals.
2-2, swing and a miss. Strike 3, back-to-back strikeouts from Winstead to start things off here in the first. Umpires for today's ball game: Gil Zayas is behind home plate, Sean Shoemaker at first, Joe Havenhill at second, and Don Brown at third.
You'll remember 4-man crew for the postseason, and all replays sent through Pittsburgh.
Jace Jackson will lead or step in now. First pitch is a little bit low for ball 1. Jackson batting .436, 65 of 149, 34 runs scored, 11 doubles, 3 triples, leads the team with 6 homers and 55 runs driven in. That one is skied to shallow center, charging in. Oh, a collision between Vandegrift and Hawkins. But Hawkins reels it in, everyone's all right, and that'll do it for Jackson State here in the first.
Yeah, that's probably a play where once Hawkins hears Vandegrift, you got to let her get it. She's got the easier job there, but to get the SWAC hitter of the year very quickly, really, really strong, and good start for Emily Winstead in the circle.
The Tigers go down 1-2-3 in the first. We head to the bottom of the first inning. Jackson State 0, Alabama coming to bat here on the Crimson Tide Sports Network from Learfield. head to the bottom of the first inning. No score between Jackson State and Alabama. And here is the starting lineup for the number 15 national seed, the Alabama Crimson Tide. They're 37-21. Entering today's game, leading things off is the center fielder, Audrey Vandegrift. Lauren Johnson, left field, batting second. Batting third is Callie Heblin, the second baseman. Catching, batting fourth, Marley Childs. Salyn Hawkins, shortstop, bats fifth. Batting sixth is the third baseman, Brooke Ellistad. Maddie Hubbard, designated player, batting seventh. Abby Dukeshire, first base, batting eighth. And Larissa Pruitt, the right fielder, will bat ninth. They'll face in the circle for Jackson State, the left-handed sophomore from Venus, Texas, Brooklyn Morris. Morris on the year with a .353 ERA, a 13-8 record, 31st appearance and 19th start. She has 15 complete games. She's pitched 133 innings, given up 161 hits, 94 runs, 67 have been earned. She's walked 26, struck out 49. Opponents batting .286 against Morris on the year.
Yeah, the lefty's going to throw mid-50s, curve. She'll work down in the zone with her drop ball as well, down and away to right-handed hitters, change at 45. She was excellent in the SWAC tournament. 3 complete game victories, a 1.33 ERA, and has been solid against P4 teams, so Alabama cannot take her lightly. Very interested to see what Vandegrift decides to do here in this first plate appearance.
Audrey Vandegrift leading things off, and she puts down a bunt that will go foul. 4 strike 1. Vandegrift batting .407 on the year. 66 of 162, 49 runs scored, 8 doubles, 2 triples, 6 homers, and 31 runs driven in for Vandegrift, a finalist for National Freshman of the Year, top 10 finalist.
All-region selection as well, which means she's in the All-American mix, hitting .357 in the last 5 games coming in.
The 0-1, outside, 1 ball and 1 strike. For the Tigers, Willis is in left, Stevens in center, Gibson in right, Jackson at third, Murillo at short, Barney at second, Alvarez at first, with Carlson behind the plate and Allen the DP. Barney not in the batting lineup, but in the field at second base. The 1-1 is a ground ball to her at second, and she'll make the play for out number 1.
And sometimes during the regular season, Audrey Vandegrift actually had some of her weakest games against the slowest pitching because her hands are so fast.
Yeah.
You almost get like ridiculously out in front of it, and that leads to weaker contact like that. Good job by Barney staying down on it over at second base.
That brings up the left fielder, Lauren Johnson. First pitch to Lojo is high for ball 1. Johnson batting .364, 28 of 77, 24 runs scored, 7 doubles, a triple, a homer, and 23 runs driven in.
Trying to get it going just a little bit. .231 average in the last 5 games.
1-0, that's line to left, and that's going to fall for a base hit. Cutting it off is Willis, and she'll throw it in. Keeping Johnson to first, but that is the first hit of the ball game, a single by Lauren Johnson.
Yeah, got to pitch over the white. That's something you got to attack. And credit to Lauren Johnson, Tom. I almost didn't believe it when I found it. That is her first career at bat and now first career hit in regionals. So shout out to Lojo. She's on base.
Of course, got the big hit in Super Regionals last year.
Of course. So she's like regionals.
Yeah.
Come on.
Wow.
It was off Carlin Pickens.
little different velocity here.
Like 20 miles per hour.
Callie Heblin steps in. The first pitch is swung on and missed for strike 1. Heblin batting .368, 56 of 152, 34 runs scored with 7 doubles, 4 triples. Leads the team in triples as well as homers, 13 of those, and 42 runs driven in.
.357 average in the last 5, but only a .208 hitter in regionals.
The 0-1 is high, 1 ball, 1 strike. The first inning is presented by Fast Signs of Tuscaloosa. Fast Signs of Tuscaloosa is more than fast and more than signs. Request a free quote from Fast Signs for all your business visibility needs. Fast Signs of Tuscaloosa is a proud supporter of Crimson Tide softball. The 1-1, Evelyn fouls it off of her foot in the batter's box, so she'll walk that off. 1 ball and 2 strikes.
Do you see how early she is, though? I mean, she is like timed up for 63, and that's just not what's happening.
Yeah.
So that's an adjustment you just have to make. Like this is velocity that you have not seen all year except for a couple times, and you will not see again. You just got to make the adjustment for this game and then be ready next time.
1-2's outside, 2-2. Evelyn, first team all-region as well as second team all-conference.
I think there's an All-American case for Callie Heblin. We were charting it yesterday. There are 3 or 4 second basemen, including Callie, who are going to be in the mix, and there are 3 All-American teams.
2-2, swing and a miss. Taking off and stealing second ahead of the throw is Johnson. So Heblin is down on strikes, but Lauren Johnson gets the stolen base, her second of the season. And there's now 2 outs with the runner on second.
Tough break for Callie. Hit and run is on, and that's the first time Morris has whipped out that change at about 43. Poor Callie was like, oh no, well, whatever. But Lojo slides in safely, so a runner in scoring position.
So 2 outs for Marley Giles, and the first pitch to Giles is low and away for ball 1. Marley batting .282, 31 of 110, 26 runs scored, 6 doubles, a triple, 5 homers, and 22 runs driven in.
Average in the last 5, .692, Tom.
Pretty good.
Also a .500 career hitter in regionals.
1-0 is line past Patrick Murphy. 1 ball and 1 strike. First pitch today, 87 degrees, a bit humid, cloudy, wind blowing out. It's been a lot warmer for regionals.
Especially elsewhere
Yeah.
around the country this weekend, but certainly here in the past.
The 1-1, low, 2 balls and 1 strike. Alabama leads the all-time series 3-0 over Jackson State. This is the first meeting between the Tide and the Tigers since 2011, when Alabama picked up an 8-0 5-inning win over Jackson State in that year's Tuscaloosa Regional behind a no-hitter thrown by Jackie Trena. The 2-1, outside, 3-1. The Tide is 31-0 all-time against the current makeup of the SWAC.
Good.
Played a couple games against Alabama State this year. They made a run in the SWAC tournament, falling just short. The 3-1 is high for ball 4, and Giles draws the walk, but runners on first and second with 2 away.
That's a good eye by Giles, seeing that through the first inning, Gil Zayas has been a little stingy on the corners, not giving those pitches to Winstead or Morris, which in a 1-4 game, I don't really like that strategy for an umpire, but that means that's the game you got to play, then play the game.
So 2 out runners on first and second. Salem Hawkins the batter. Alabama trying to strike first here in the bottom of the first inning. First pitch to Hawkins is a called strike. Salem batting .317, 39 of 123, 21 runs scored, 6 doubles, a homer, and 18 runs driven in.
She's hitting .462 in the last 5 with 4 RBIs. Has not recorded a postseason hit in her career, although she was playing Nyjah last year, so it's okay.
That's a called strike. Ooh, upper part of the zone. Or somewhere thereabouts. No balls and 2 strikes now on Hawkins. The 0-2, Hawkins with a fly ball to right. On the run is Gibson. She will track it down to make the catch for out number 3 to retire the side. And Alabama gets a couple runners on, but can't get them in here in the first.
Yeah, and you can see immediately the impact that playing that lower velocity has on hitters. And, you know, I'm thinking back last year, Jackson State, when they played in the Baton Rouge Regional, that was a game that LSU won 4-0, and they kind of sparsed around hits and didn't really light up Jackson State all that much. It does take a second for you to get used to this thing that you haven't really faced all year, and like I said, probably won't face again. So not much to worry about, but you kind of wish you've been able to add a little bit there after that Lauren Johnson single with 1 out.
For the Tide in the first, no runs on a hit, no errors, and 2 left. We played an inning. No score between Jackson State and Alabama here on the Crimson Tide Sports Network from Learfield. The second inning is presented by the Bryant Museum, located on the UA campus just across from Coleman Coliseum. Open every day, 9 a.m. to 4 p.m., except Mondays. Access online at bryantmuseum.com. We head to the second inning. No score between Alabama and Jackson State here in the Tuscaloosa Regional. The winner will face Virginia Tech in the winner's bracket tomorrow. The loser will face Belmont in an elimination game tomorrow afternoon. 4-5-6-2 up for the Tigers. Alvarez, Willis, and Morris against Emily Winstead, who set down Jackson State in order in the first inning. Mia Alvarez to lead things off. Freshman batting .366. Excuse me, the senior batting .366. Ooh. Fouls that one away for strike one.
Yeah, Alvarez, second team all SWAC this year. Had a good season, right, Tom?
She did. Batting .366, 52 of 142, 31 runs scored, 12 doubles, a triple, 3 homers, and 30 runs driven in.
0 for 5 in her career in regionals, though.
The 0-1, fouled away. No balls and 2 strikes. 200 down the lines, 220 to straightaway center field at the Rhodes House. 6-foot wall all the way around in the outfield, and to the surprise of nobody, a really good crowd here for opening day of regionals.
And I would expect that to grow significantly tomorrow as well.
The 0-2 grounded on one hop to third, collected by Elistad, makes the throw for out number 1.
Hardest hit ball for sure. Kind of a worm burner right here, screwball outside. Elistad, no issues whatsoever.
That brings up Gabrielle Willis, right-hand hitting left fielder. First pitch. Fouled straight back for strike one. Willis batting .204, 21 and 103, 14 runs scored, 4 doubles, 2 triples, 16 runs driven in. And once you get past the first 4 of this Jackson State lineup, the 0-1, a little bit high, 1 ball, 1 strike. A few more players that you can really go after, I think, if you're in the circle.
Well, I mean, 11 players made the board because they've shuffled that back part of the lineup so much this year.
1-1's in there for a strike, 1 and 2.
You know, Gabrielle Willis did not hit all that well in the SWAC tournament. 154 average. Does, however, have 2 regional hits, 2 for 4 with a walk, so she's stepped up in the postseason.
1-2 pitch, outside, 2 balls, 2 strikes. Two popped up on the infield. Heflin settles underneath it. She'll make the catch for out number 2.
It's a good little jam job, and I'm not surprised that so far Winstead has been using that velocity and not throwing any changeups or off speed again. Especially the first time through, that's your biggest weapon against Jackson State. The velocity, location, and so far pinpoint from Emily Winstead.
So 2 out, nobody on for the pitcher, Brooklyn Morris. Fouls the first pitch off for strike 1. Morris batting .118, just 2 of 17 on the year. 2 runs scored with a double, a triple, and 3 RBIs. Doesn't always hit when she pitches.
Every now and then.
The 0-1. Missed, I guess, outside. 1-1. Alabama in the all-white uniforms, the white jerseys with the crimson script Bama across the chest. White pants and crimson socks. The 1-1. Chopper up the middle. Stop made on the in-between hop by Hawkins. The throw is in time for out number 3 to retire the side. And another really good play at shortstop by Salem Hawkins.
Yeah, this one, you know, I mean, none of them have been on SportsCenter ridiculously, but this one probably wouldn't be in the running. It's a hard play, though, because you do have to wait for that second hop. And I love how Salem was in position, moved her feet, got there, and then waited a second, didn't try and immediately make the transfer and make the throw, took a half beat and then rifled a good one over to first base to get the out.
So once again, the Tigers go down 1-2-3 in their half of the second inning. We move to the bottom of the second, still 0-0 between Alabama and Jackson State here on the Crimson Tide Sports Network from their field. second inning is presented by the Bryant Museum, located on the UA campus just across from Coleman Coliseum. Open every day, 9 a.m. to 4 p.m., except Mondays. Access online at bryantmuseum.com. We move to the home half of the second. Still no score between Alabama and Jackson State. 6-7-8 due up for the Tide. Elistad, Hubbard, and Dukeshire. Brooklyn Morris back out for her second inning of work for the Tigers. And Gray, Alabama got a couple runners on, but couldn't get them in the first inning. But still trying to adjust to the velocity difference that we'll see from Morris compared to some of the other pitchers they've been facing here since we started conference play, really.
Yeah, I mean, I want to, again, just to pinpoint it, Carlin Pickens throws it the fastest of anybody in America. Her changeup comes in about 10 miles per hour faster than the fast stuff that Brooklyn Morris is throwing.
Yeah.
That's the kind of stuff you normally see in the SEC. So, again, it's just going to be about getting on plane and getting on time.
Brooke Elistad steps up, and the first pitch to her is a called strike. Elistad batting .299, 46 of 154, 17 runs scored, 7 doubles, 2 triples, 8 homers, and leads a team of 44 runs driven in.
We talked in pregame about how today's a confidence day. Brooke Elistad's at the top of my list.
Fouls that one off into the Bama bullpen. No balls and 2 strikes.
She's 0 for her last 13.
Yeah.
And really only one of those at-bats was particularly productive. That was the reach on air in game 1 against South Carolina. She does have regional success at a 6 RBI game last year with Louisiana. But we'd just love to see her hit something solid today.
The 0-2 is a one-hopper back to Morris in the circle. She makes a stop in the throw for out number 1.
Because Brooke Elistad is such a weapon, and that wasn't even a bad piece, just right at somebody. If she gets going, then you feel even better about the chance to make a run. If she's still struggling, then you run into a bit of an issue in the bottom part of the order.
Maddie Hubbard now steps in. Getting started designated player today. 308 the average, 12 of 39, 10 runs scored with a double, 2 triples, and 10 RBIs. First pitch. Called strike. That double came in her last at-bat in the 7th inning in South Carolina in the second round of the SEC tournament.
Sometimes we get things right. We said that 7th inning looked like Patrick Murphy saying, all right, who wants to be DP in postseason? And Maddie Hubbard was the only one who really converted. Oh, my.
Nice pitch that drops in at 46 miles per hour for a strike, 0-2.
It's a dirty changeup.
You don't like it slow? How about slower?
I mean, to quote Erica Beach, take a shower, that was dirty. What a changeup.
The 0-2, that's low and away. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Jackson State in the all dark blue uniforms, dark blue jerseys with the white tigers in block across the chest, blue pants, and white socks. No score, bottom of the second, 1 out, nobody on. 1-2, line to short. Catch made by Murillo, but that was a well-hit ball by Madi.
Yeah, hit that one on the screws, did a good job waiting on it, and actually it was a pretty meaty mistake by Morris. This is right over the white, and unfortunately, Madi, case of the Adams right there.
So now 2 out, nobody on for the first baseman, Abby Dukeshire. Duke batting .311, 41 of 132, 27 runs scored, 6 doubles, a triple, 7 homers, 23 runs driven in. First pitch is low. I think she was called for a time violation. Yeah. She was. So it was a ball one way or the other.
Quietly, Duke has been really great lately. Last 5 games hitting 400, couple RBIs. Still looking for her first regional career hit, though.
Now would be a good time for it.
Wind is blowing out.
1-0. Low and away. 2 balls, no strikes. Alabama head coach is Patrick Murphy. He's in his 27th season as the Alabama head coach. The Alabama head coaching record, 1,314 wins, 396 losses, a .768 winning percentage. Go over his postseason numbers. The 2-0 is a called strike, 2-1. All-time in regional play, Murphy in the Tide is 71-12 all-time with 20 regional titles. Overall in the NCAA tournament, Alabama is 122-56, all under Murphy with the 2012 National Championship. The 2-1 pitch, low and away, 3 balls and a strike. So one of those regional titles was not in Tuscaloosa. They've won 19 in Tuscaloosa, looking for their 20th out of 21 here this weekend. Just an unbelievably consistent performance in regional play. Called strike. One at the knees, and the count's full, 3-2.
Yeah, that's the kind of consistent excellence over multiple decades that's very rare in this sport. Wonder if you're going to see the changeup from Morris here on the 3-2.
Pay off to Dukeshire is a fly ball to left field. Underneath it to make the catch is Willis for out number 3 to retire the side, and Alabama goes down in order here in the second.
Yeah, I mean, that swing right there, you can just tell again, like the velocity, Alabama's got to make the adjustment on it because Dukeshire was right on it. It was right there over the plate. Like that check, check, check. She was just out in front, and because of that, couldn't quite hit it square, fly out to left field. Second time through the order, hopefully everybody will have figured out their plan, and now that they've seen Morris, know what they want to do to attack her.
No runs, no hits, no errors, no runners left for the Tide here in the second. We move to the third, 0-0. Jackson State and Alabama here on the Crimson Tide Sports Network from Learfield. The third inning is presented by Nukes. At Nukes, your food is always made to order in an open kitchen with the freshest ingredients. Visit them locally on University Boulevard or order online at nukes.com. Nukes is a proud supporter of Alabama softball. 0-0 Alabama Jackson State as we head to the top of the third inning. Bottom of the order due up for the Tigers, Allen, Carlson, and Murillo. 7-8-9 against Emily Winstead. As she will try to keep the Tigers at bay before Alabama can get a chance to get the offense going here in the first game of the Tuscaloosa Regional for both these teams. The winner will face tomorrow in the winner's bracket matchup Virginia Tech at 11 o'clock, followed by the losers facing off against Belmont. And here to take you through the third inning, I'll turn things over to my partner, Gray Robertson.
Thanks, Tom. Were you also trying to see what Montana Fouts was saying on the TV broadcast? I was. Beja Allen will take strike one from Emily Winstead. Allen hitting .236 on the season, 17 of 72. 11 RBIs, 3 doubles, 15 runs scored. He's not had a hit in a while, was hitless in the SWAC tournament. And she hits the 0-1 out of play down the right field line, 0-2.
Finishing off the coaching staff for the Crimson Tide, assistant coach is Kayla Bro. She's had some NCAA tournament experience, both as a coach and as a player.
And a broadcaster.
And a broadcaster.
She's been around. 0-2. Just outside 1-2. Has Bro maybe been to the World Series more than all of us except Coach Murphy?
Probably so, yeah.
She did the studio work for years at ESPN. 1-2 from Winstead. Oh, she definitely went. Yeah, they'll check down. That's a strikeout. Third for Winstead. One away here in the top of the third.
Well, Alabama is still trying to figure things out offensively, but Emily Winstead seems to have the plan down for what she's going to do in the circle against this Tiger offense.
Yeah, good rise ball right there to get Allen. And here's Christina Carlson, the catcher. First pitch from Winstead is hit foul by Carlson, who's batting .286 with 10 RBIs, a couple doubles, and 7 runs scored this year.
Pitching coach for the Crimson Tide is Lance McMahon. The hitting coach is Adam Arbor. Coordinator of player development, Ryan Iamurray. Jaden Spencer, director of softball operations.
0-1. That misses low, 1-1. Nobody on, 1 out, no score, top of the third.
AC Atzinka is the athletic trainer, strength and conditioning coach, Michelle Diltz. Sports information director, the SID extraordinaire, Nathan Sheehan. Video director, Scott Moyers. 2 more, the equipment manager and photographer, Kent Gidley.
The 1-1 is hit out towards right field. Pruitt is there, and the catch is made for out number 2.
For Jackson State, their head coach is Kevin Montgomery. He's in his 7th season at Jackson State. Assistant coach Zoe Keys. End of list for their coaching staff.
2 straight trips, though.
Yep.
For the Tigers. Ariana Murillo steps in. First pitch is a ball, reportedly. 1-0 to Murillo, who's hitting .277. 31 of 112, 11 RBIs, a couple triples, 3 doubles, 28 runs scored. The 1-0. That's a strike. 1-1. Emily Winstead ready to go. The 1-1 is slapped foul. Down the left side, 1-2.
Wind continues to blow pretty much straight out, maybe a little bit out to left field. 5 to 10 miles an hour.
Power, though, not really part of a Jackson State repertoire. Just 15 homers this year. 1-2, slap foul again. Nobody on, 2 outs, no score, top of the 3rd. Amazingly, Tom, the 15 homers for Jackson State, first in the SWAC. That's just not really part of that league. That league is all speed, gap to gap,
Yep.
slice and dice. Another 1-2. That one misses low and away. 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Like we said, Alabama played Alabama State a couple times this year, and if I remember correctly, the Hornets team leader in home runs has like 3.
Yeah. Two. Slapped again. You can see Murillo really trying to choke up on the bat, really shortening up just to try and put it in play right now.
In the press conferences, Coach Montgomery was really wanting to get on base and play that small ball.
2-2 misses, full count.
Can't play the small ball unless you get on base.
You know, Tom, your analysis just ages like fine wine.
That's what I'm here for, the 3rd inning only for my analysis.
That's right. It's a blip. Payoff. Another foul ball. If I'm Jackson State, I'm in that dugout right now saying, hey, this strategy is working for Murillo. She's hanging around in this AB and making Winstead throw by far the most pitches against any single hitter.
Trying to finish off her 3 innings with under 40 pitches.
Another payoff is low. Ball 4, and Murillo will head to first base. And I think everyone was a little fooled, A, by the pitch, and B, by the way Gilzayas got up. Base runner with 2 outs after the walk.
I was fooled by the pitch being over the plate at the knees, not called a strike.
Well, you know, major minor details. Kalia Gibson, leadoff hitter, back up with a runner on and 2 gone. Bunt shown, pulled back, it's a strike. 0-1 on Gibson, who struck out looking in the first. And Murillo, like a lot of people in this lineup, a threat to steal, 13 of 15 in swipes this year. The 0-1 to Gibson. Misses away, 1-1.
Elsewhere in the Crimson Tide Sports Network, they're in the bottom of the 1st inning.
Uh-oh.
In Gainesville, Bama baseball, and the Gators have a 1-0 lead. Early on in that one is Alabama trying to bounce back after a tough loss yesterday to Florida.
Just flip the script today. 1-1 to Gibson. Bunted towards Elistad. She's got it. The throw to first is in the nick of time to retire the side. Great bunt by Gibson, but a better play by Elistad in the inning and strand a runner.
Yeah, we talked about earlier Hawkins and Elistad having an extra second to take that beat and collect it to throw. Not in that situation. Gibson, one of the fastest players, not just on this team or in this regional, but in the country, and Elistad did a great job to get that out.
And now we journey on to the home half of the 3rd. No score, Alabama and Jackson State here in the Tuscaloosa Regional on the Crimson Tide Sports Network from Learfield. is presented by Nukes. At Nukes, your food is always made to order in an open kitchen with the freshest ingredients. Visit them locally on University Boulevard or order online at nukes.com. Nukes is a proud supporter of Alabama softball. No score here in the bottom of the third. Alabama-Jackson State. Tide will have 9-1-2 due up to face off against Brooklyn Morris. And before we start the home half of the third, let's pause 10 seconds for station identification here on the Crimson Tide Sports Network. We are glad that you were here with us. Gray Robertson, Tom Canterbury up here in our booth that we've been in for the last 9 years on Regional Weekend.
Yes.
And Alabama has played here the last 20 times possible on Regional Weekend.
Really, just like you talked about earlier, just one of the more impressive streaks showing the consistency of the program, maybe in the country.
And now trying to get a little consistency at the plate here today against Brooklyn Morris. Larissa Pruitt leads off. Shows bunt, pulls it back. It's a ball to Larissa, who's hitting .287, 41 of 143, 34 runs. She's driven in 21, couple homers, a triple, and 8 runs scored. .263 career regional average for Larissa. The 1-0 from Morris. Off speed high, 2-0.
Not only has Alabama hosted 20 straight years, until just a couple of years ago, Alabama had not lost a game in those regionals. Not lost the regional, lost a game, period.
Yeah. 2 O's in there for a strike, 2-1. It was at least 43, and then I think Stanford was the one who ruined it.
I mean, eventually the law of averages catches up to you.
That's not a thing.
Well,
it is. The 2-1. Back to the circle. Nice play by Morris. And, the throw to first was way wayward. Larissa Pruitt rounds second and heads for third. Good throw in, but Larissa's standing up with Patrick Murphy over on the third base side. And for sure, an error allows Pruitt to get 60 feet away with nobody out here in the bottom of the third.
Just a major mistake defensively by the Tigers there. Morris had plenty of time and almost spiked that one.
Yeah, this was not close. Tough for Almaraz over there at first. Not much you could do. And now Audrey Vandegrift steps in. She grounded out in the first. Is officially a throwing error on Morris in the circle. First pitch to Vandegrift. Way out in front of the change, 0-1.
What do we always say? If you're trying to pull a major upset, Gray, what do you have to do?
Play clean.
Yeah.
And even then, sometimes it's not enough.
Right. And Alabama has to take advantage of that right here.
0-1 change up. True change. Misses high and away. So Pruitt's on third base. The 1-1 to Vandegrift. Called strike. 1-2.
In the first inning, Alabama baseball got out of a bases-loaded jam, only allowing the 1 run. So it's 1-0 Florida as we head to the second. We'll keep you up to date on that one as it continues here this evening.
It's pretty good.
Just a massive game for Alabama and their hosting hopes.
1-2, swing and a miss. Exactly kind of like what we were talking about. Vandegrift just didn't look comfortable in that at-bat, and she goes down swinging for the first out of the inning.
And maybe Pruitt being on third, too, kind of took a little bit away because you're not going to be able to lay down the bunt there unless you're going to do a squeeze.
Lauren Johnson singled in the first. Here she is now with an RBI chance. First pitch called strikeout or half, 0-1.
Crimson Tide Sports Network coverage continues with Crimson Drive, driven by NASCAR, Thursday afternoons on all Crimson Tide Sports Network social media outlets. Crimson Drive is live each Thursday at 2 p.m. Central Time.
The 0-1, change up, Lojo swings and misses, 0-2.
So be sure to join host Roger Hoover for the latest on Alabama athletics. Might have saw a couple of guys talking about softball on Crimson Drive this week.
Patrick Murphy will call time. Talk a little softball with Lauren Johnson. Runner on third, 1 out. No score here.
Crimson Tide just, I mean, has to take advantage of the 3-base error.
Well, I mean,
try to get things going offensively here.
You're in a spot where you basically just need to like count to 2 and not swing until then.
Right.
Because everyone's just been so early. Like all the time. See where Morris goes. The 0-2 to Lauren Johnson is high, 1-2. Callie Heavlin does wait on deck. You know, she'd like to atone for the earlier strikeout. 1-2 to Johnson. This is low and in, 2-2.
It feels like it's just going to take one person to really tag one to let everyone know what it looks like.
Now the 2-2 from Morris is hit towards short. The throw to first is in time from Murillo, and Pruitt did not take off. She's still at third base, 2 gone.
It's just one of the few places that you could ground out in the infield where Pruitt wasn't going to be able to take off and score.
Yeah, I think that was all played correctly. I was watching it to see if there was a window, but Murillo actually was exquisite in how long she held the ball. And now a quick meeting.
As I say, also Murillo was playing a little bit in there short. So it was just, like I said, just the one place you couldn't put it if you're Lauren Johnson. So we have this meeting. It's an opportunity to take a look at a scoreboard update brought to you by the Out of the Box Podcast. Check out the latest episode of the Out of the Box Podcast, part of the Softball America Podcast Network. Wherever you get your podcasts, give us a follow at OutofTheBox_pod on the X. Like, subscribe, and share. We did one during the pregame show, but now there have been some more finals that have rolled in, so a chance to go around the horn once again.
Yeah, we'll start in College Station. Texas A&M run-ruled St. Francis 18-0 in 5. Liberty over Marist 10-5. So tomorrow, winners bracket, Liberty versus Texas A&M. Elimination game, St. Francis versus Marist. And we'll continue those after the first pitch to Callie Heavlin, who struck out in the first inning. Runner on third, 2 outs, no score, bottom 3. First pitch high for ball 1. In Norman, Cal beat Omaha 1-0. And right now, bottom of the second, Oklahoma leads Boston U 3-0. So Sam Landry did get the start, though, for the Sooners. Kind of a surprise move. The 1-0 to Heavlin is hit on the ground, a deep short, and Murillo has no throw. Probably not the RBI Callie Heavlin imagined, but it's an RBI infield single, and the Tide leads it 1-0 here in the third.
RBIs come in all shapes and sizes, Gray, and we'll take that one. Just one to deep short, just past the third baseman, Jackson. Once it got past Jackson, no chance to get Heavlin, and Alabama's on the board, taking advantage of that error.
So Pruitt scores, Heavlin at first, 2 gone, 1-0 Tide. Marley Giles walked in the first inning. First pitch to Marley is low for ball 1. In Gainesville, Florida Atlantic walked off Georgia Tech 5-4 in 8, and currently Florida leads Mercer 7-0 going to the 5th. Tough beat for our Bears. 1-0 to Giles, that's high, 2-0. In Fayetteville, Oklahoma State, quite a comeback, 9 unanswered to beat Indiana 11-6. And coming up in just a bit, it'll be Arkansas and the Billikens of St. Louis.
Always fun to get to say Billikens.
I enjoy it. 2-0 to Giles. Popped up, heading foul, 2-1. In Tallahassee, a couple finals. Robert Morris fell to Florida State 10-1 in 5. 9 innings for South Florida to beat Auburn 12-7. So tomorrow, South Florida, Florida State in the winners bracket game. Elimination game between Robert Morris and Auburn after that. 2-1. Good changeup in there for a strike. 2-2 with 2 gone and a runner at first. 1-0 Alabama. Now the 2-2 to Giles. That's low. Heavlin takes off. The throw is high and away. And it's a full count. It was a ball to Giles, and now a stolen base for Callie Hevlin. She's 4 for 4 in that category this year.
I do wonder if that was a hit and run that Marley might have missed the sign on, but Callie's safe, everything's fine.
The 3-2 is hit by Giles to left, but that's going to be a foul ball. Still 3-2.
Man, Marley tagged that one. Hopefully it works even if it's a foul ball.
Oh, man. That was everything you want and more. The foul ball by a couple feet. Another 3-2 from Morris to Marley. This time it's out to right field. That'll get out of play. Right past a diving hot sauce.
Yeah, taco hot sauce scattering.
We'll save the rest of the scoreboard updates for the next window, as everyone now is fully locked in on Marley Giles and Brooklyn Morris. Another 3-2 with a runner on second and 2 outs in this 1-0 game. Inside, ball 4. Second walk for Marley. 2 on, 2 out for the Tide here in the third.
Really good at bat there by Giles. Missed the home run by just a few feet, but then didn't press after that, took the walk, and give Salem Hawkins an opportunity here with 2 outs.
Hawkins flew out to right in the first inning, hitting .405 this season with runners in scoring position. First pitch, low, ball 1. All right, in Austin, Texas just run-ruled Eastern Illinois 10-2 in 5. Michigan 4-3 over UCF. So tomorrow, winners bracket, potentially great game. Michigan versus Texas. Elimination game, UCF and Eastern Illinois in the Austin Regional. 1-0 to Hawkins is hit towards left. That'll get all the way to the wall. 1 run will score as Hevlin crosses. Marley Giles races for home. Hawkins stops at second. That's a 2 RBI double. And that's a lot of damage done after the early error in this inning. 3-0 Alabama here in the third.
Some 2-out production, and as you mentioned, it's all unearned because of that error to start things off. And that's what good teams do. They take advantage when that team looking for the upset makes a mistake, and Alabama able to do that with 2 of the batters we talked to Patrick Murphy about in our pregame interview, playing so well right now, Marley Giles and Salem Hawkins.
And Hawkins stands on second for Brooke Elistad, who hits it out to right. That'll end the hitless streak. Hawkins is heading for home. The throw got away. She scored. Elistad moves to second. It's 4-0 Alabama on the RBI single from Brooke Elistad, and I'm sure that felt amazing off her bat.
Yeah, it went through that 3-4 hole down the right field line, and Patrick Murphy being aggressive, sending Hawkins on one that was picked up relatively short right field by Gibson, but the throw off the mark, and Bama's put up a 4 spot here with 2 outs in the third.
Now a full meeting for the Tigers with the infield and the circle. Maddie Hubbard about to step in. It is an RBI single for Elistad, and another unearned run in this inning for the Tide after that early error that is now truly proving costly. Maddie Hubbard 0 for 1, lined out to short in the second. First pitch elevated for ball 1. Back to the scoreboard updates. In the Knoxville Regional, Tennessee dispatched Miami of Ohio 17-0 in 5. Ohio State held off North Carolina 9-6. So winners bracket game, Tennessee and Ohio State tomorrow. 1-0 to Hubbard is hit towards third. Collected by Jackson. Throw to first is in time for the final out. Put a button on Knoxville elimination game as Miami of Ohio versus North Carolina. Here in Tuscaloosa, Alabama trying to get to the winners bracket game. Great way to do that. Capitalize on mistakes from the opponent, and that's exactly what we saw with a 4 spot here in the third.
Capitalize on mistakes, and then when given the opportunity, put up a crooked number. Alabama did that here and has put some space between themselves and Jackson State.
We'll see if the Tigers can answer as we go to the fourth. Alabama 4, Jackson State 0 here on the Crimson Tide Sports Network from Learfield. Alabama with a 4-0 lead on Jackson State as we go to the fourth with 2-3-4 due up for the visiting Tigers in this game, and as the 4 seed overall, visiting pretty much against everybody here this weekend. It will be Stevens, Jackson, and Almaraz against Emily Winstead. And Tom, it has not been an offensive game for Alabama through 3 innings, where we're probably pulling together a bunch of highlights and writing, think pieces about how brilliant everything is, but we've seen some adjustments the second time through, and most importantly, when an opening was given by Jackson State, Alabama burst right through it. Yeah,
it took a little bit to get timed up with the velocity change from Morris from what we're seeing in the SEC, but like you said, got an error which allowed you to have that opportunity, and you didn't just have the one, added a couple more hits after that and put up a crooked number.
Yeah, so now we'll see if Emily Winstead can keep it rolling against Mari Stevens, and to try and make that happen, I will hand it back off to my broadcast partner, Tom Canterbury.
Thank you so much, Greg. Good job.
Thank you.
Well done.
This is why they keep me around, right, Ethan?
Emily,
he nodded.
Okay, good. Emily Winstead will be the batter, or excuse me, is the pitcher for her 4th inning of work, facing 2-3-4, Stevens, Jackson, and Almaraz. Winstead's gone 3, no hits, no runs, 1 walk, and 3 strikeouts, 41 pitches, 28 strikes. Thrown by Winstead so far here in the ballgame. The first pitch to Stevens is fouled away for strike 1. Mari Stevens, the center fielder, is 0 for 1. She struck out her first time.
Back to scoreboard updates. North Florida in the Columbia Regional took down Virginia 2-1. And the 8 national seed South Carolina leads Elon 5-2 in the 4th. So Phoenix caused a little trouble there, but South Carolina firmly, I think, probably feeling pretty good right now.
I would think so.
They're about to get underway in the Los Angeles Regional. UCLA and Santa Barbara. Taylor Tinsley will get the ball for the Bruins. Arizona State, San Diego State coming up tonight.
The 0-1 bounces in. 1 ball and 1 strike. You mentioned Ethan's here.
Yes.
Because we have the CTSN Booth Camp.
Yeah, we do.
Presented by MLB The Show 25.
I don't know why I went lefty on my swing.
Wow. The 1-1. Low and away. 2-1. You're not a righty slapper? Like
No.
me?
No, I'm not trying to distract the pitcher that bad.
Where you just dance up there and ding.
I've seen you do that with a golf club once. We'll give you a PGA update later.
Oh, didn't work out well. The 2-1 is a bit inside. 3 balls and a strike.
Scoreboard update from the Baton Rouge Regional. Nebraska run-ruled UConn 10-2-6. And currently, top of the 3rd, LSU up 2-0 on a very, very good Southeastern team.
The 3-1 is grounded to 3rd. Ellisad is there, makes a stop in the throw for the first out of the inning.
In the Clemson Regional, Northwestern beat Kentucky 4-0, and Clemson, after trailing 2-0, run-ruled USC Upstate 10-2. So tomorrow, winners bracket Northwestern Clemson, elimination game Kentucky and Upstate.
Jace Jackson now the batter. 0 for 1. She popped out her first time. First pitch right in there for a strike.
In the Lubbock Regional, top of the 6th, 12 national seed Texas Tech leads Brown 6-0.
That pitch misses inside, 1-1.
Game later tonight, Washington and Mississippi State out west. Tucson coming up later, Arizona Santa Clara, 13 national seed Wildcats, and Grand Canyon Ole Miss late tonight.
1-1. Hits the outside corner, 1-2.
We're almost there, Tom. Duke run-ruled Howard 12-0 in 5. Georgia 6-3 over Coastal, so it'll be Duke, Georgia tomorrow. Elimination game Howard versus Coastal Carolina.
1-2 to Jackson. Ground ball up the middle, and that's going to get through for the first base hit of the ball game for Jackson State. A 1-out single by Jace Jackson.
That's a good job by the SWAC hitter of the year, taking advantage of an elevated pitch. Just too high, and it wasn't moving. It didn't have that regular velocity, but it wasn't really off speed. It was just kind of hanging there. Yeah. She just got the barrel up and poked it right through the middle.
Mia Almaraz steps in. She's 0 for 1 with the ground out. First pitch to her is fouled away for strike 1.
So we know about the Tuscaloosa Regional. Virginia Tech beat Belmont. Eugene, they're about to get underway. Oregon Weber State. And currently, Stanford leads Binghamton 9-2 in the 6th.
Just glad Binghamton made it.
Yes, and I'll check. Oklahoma now leads Boston 5-0 in the 3rd.
The 0-1 fouled back. No balls and 2 strikes.
And that's it. You're up to date on all the things. And I will let you know if anything shifts.
No balls, 2 strikes on Alvarez. The 0-2. Off speed, drops in for a called strike 3. 4th strikeout of the day by Emily Winstead, and there's now 2 gone here in the 4th.
Well, you don't want to show the changeup first time through, but when they start to get a little bit more timed up, that's when you bring it out. Beautiful pitch by Winstead.
Gabrielle Willis, the left fielder, steps in. First pitch, fly ball to right. Pruitt is there. She'll make the catch for out number 3 to retire the side. So the 1-out single for Jackson State does nothing for the Tigers, and Alabama holds on to the 4-0 lead.
I mean, if Jackson State's best hitter is going to hit a slow roll single back up the middle and that's all they get, I'm fine with that. Winstead is doing exactly what you asked her to do when you gave her the ball today. The whole point was no Brisky, no Caitlin Riley, and Winstead has done her job through 4 innings for sure.
For the Tigers, no runs on a hit, no errors, and 1 left. We head to the bottom of the 4th. 4-0 Alabama here. Crimson Tide Sports Network from Learfield. Nothing Alabama as we head to the bottom of the 4th inning. 4 runs on 4 hits, no errors, and 3 left for the Tide. No runs on 1 hit, 1 error, and 2 left for Jackson State. Brooklyn Morris back out now for her 4th inning of work here in the 4th inning, facing 8-9-1. Morris so far has gone 3 innings, giving up 4 hits, 4 runs that were all unearned, 2 walks and 2 strikeouts, 59 pitches and 35 strikes thrown by Morris so far here in the ball game. Abby Dukeshire to lead things off. You have Dukeshire, Pruitt, and Vandegrift due up. Facing Morris, who was the one who committed the error in the 3rd, which led Alabama to be able to score those 4 unearned runs.
Tom,
yes,
I've learned some distressing news.
Oh no.
Because in Taco Hot Sauce race, there were 2 tacos running. The official ruling is that was a DQ.
Oh no.
So as someone who picked Taco, who actually won,
yeah,
I am distraught.
I disagree with that call.
And we can plead our case later. I will plead now to the marketing department, if you're listening, no more 2 tacos.
No, you can't do that.
This is a big deal.
I know it was a brother-sister situation, but come on.
Well, pick one, you know? Everyone has a favorite child.
Wow. This is, this is very important. This is very serious business.
Yes.
Taco hot sauce.
People don't get it.
So Abby Dukeshire to lead things off. She had a fly out her first time. First pitch is a called strike.
Scoreboard update. Florida has run ruled Mercer. 8-0 in 5. So Florida Atlantic versus Florida could be a good game tomorrow. Elimination game, Mercer versus Georgia Tech.
The 0-1. Dukeshire with a fly ball to center. Now charging in to make the catch is Stevens for out number 1. Also, Bama baseball, they're in the top of the 3rd in Gainesville. Florida with a 2-0 lead, but Bama has a couple runners in scoring position trying to answer back. So 1 out now with nobody on for Larissa Pruitt, who reached on an error and scored back in the 3rd inning as Alabama sent 8 batters to the plate in that 3rd, scoring 4. First pitch. Ground ball back up the middle, and that's going to get through for a base knock. And Larissa Pruitt gets her first base hit of the ball game, and Alabama has a runner on here. We won out in the fourth.
Well, and I love what Pruitt did to adjust right there. She was on time, and it wasn't even a good pitch in terms of like what you're looking for as a hitter. This is elevated outside, kind of around the shoulders, and she just got the barrel up there, sent it right back up the middle. Nicely done, and I bet we see her take off fairly quickly.
Audrey Vandergrift now the batter, 0 for 2. First pitch misses, taking off is Pruitt, and she will steal just ahead of the tag from Murillo. Not a bad throw by Carlson, but Pruitt beat it out, and that's a stolen base for Larissa. Now 16-17 on the year stolen bases.
And you know Alabama is going to keep doing that. Carlson's thrown out 3 base stealers in, coming into the day, 70 attempts. Whew.
The 1-0, Vandergrift, pulls back the bunt. 1 ball, 1 strike. Gray, do you know the date?
Sometime in May.
That is correct.
Mayhem,
correct.
etc.
Mid-May.
Sure. Middle portion.
I'll tell you the date after this pitch.
Okay, thanks for making me wait.
The 1-1 is low, 2-1. It is May 16th.
Oh, cool.
Yes. And on this date, Alabama 5-2 all time. Outscoring opponents 48-12. The Tide has won 5 in a row on this date, all in Tuscaloosa, all in regional play, and the last 4 have been run rule victories. 2-1 is a chopper to short. Murillo will make the throw. It's not going to be in time, and Vandergrift beats it out, but runners on the corners with 1 out here in the fourth, and as soon as it took that extra hop, you knew Vandergrift was going to beat it out.
Do you know why it did? I think that's the first time this year I've seen Audrey Vandergrift slap. She slapped that. She moved forward in the box and did the whole thing. And that gives her that extra jump start towards first base. Murillo was already going to be in a tough situation. I love that. Like, she was like, I'm not seeing it well. I'm not seeing it hitting away. Why don't I make an adjustment? Boom, first and third.
And Morris asked for timeout to reset the pitch clock. Lauren Johnson, the batter, 1 for 2 on the day with a single back in the first inning. Runners on the corners, 1 out. And we're trying to add to the 4-0 lead. The first pitch to Johnson is low, and taking off and stealing second is Vandergrift. They cut off the throw to keep Pruitt at third, but the stolen base for Vandergrift now puts her at 49 as she's trying to catch Kalia Gibson, who has 50.
Trying to crawl closer in the single season record ranks as well in Alabama history.
The 1-0. That's a chopper up the middle. Murillo's going to collect it in front of the second base bag, makes the stop in the throw to get the runner at first, but coming in to score is Pruitt. And the RBI ground out makes it now 5-0 Alabama.
Yeah, again, Lauren Johnson's not on time, but she's still able to put it in play. Looked like she was just shortening up, trying to get that through the middle. Good cutoff by Murillo to get there, but a productive out. You'll take that every day of the week.
So now 2 out with a runner on third for Callie Hevlin. First pitch misses low and away for ball 1. Hevlin 1 for 2 with an RBI single and a run scored in the third. Hevlin lines it to left. That's going to fall for a base hit. And the second RBI of the day for a consistent Callie makes it now 6-0 Crimson Tide.
Do you see what Callie did? She started her motion. She had everything geared up. She had it all loaded up, ready to go, and then just stopped and waited. Kind of did that thing we were talking about earlier, like count to 2 and then go, and was able to barrel it up right there out to left field. Nothing at all that Willis could do. She was playing deep like you should against Hevlin, and an easy run in for Vandegrift.
Kinley Pate will come to run for Callie Hevlin at first. For Marley Giles, the catcher, who has yet to have an official at bat, 2 plate appearances, 2 walks, and a run scored.
Probably the most still the wind has been all evening here right now.
Big hit here could put us in a different stratosphere. The first pitch is low and away for ball 1, and Kinley Pate takes off to steal second base. She's in ahead of the throw. with the stolen base. Can they paint now? 4 for 4 stolen bases on the year.
We love efficiency.
The 1-0 is a called strike, 1-1.
Scoreboard update, LSU now up 3-0 on Southeastern, bottom of the third. It's now 6-0 Oklahoma over Boston U in the bottom of the third. And that's pretty much the only change so far.
The 1-1. Giles takes this one to deep right field, but Gibson's underneath it. She'll make the catch in front of the warning track for out number 3 to retire the side, but Alabama adds to their lead here in the 4th inning.
Yeah, and doing it by making the adjustment. You know, we saw, I think the like poster child of all this is Audrey Vandegrift. 2 not great first at-bats way out in front on a ground out, fooled by some off-speed pitches on a strikeout. So what does she do? She mid-at-bat is like, you know what? This is dumb. I'm going to just slap. And she moves through the zone, gets something elevated over the plate, pokes it down, beats it out. And that's what I think we're seeing this offense as a whole do. Just accomplish the game plan to win this game.
For the Tide in the 4th, 2 runs on 3 hits, no errors, and 1 left. We played 4, 6-0 Crimson Tide here on the Crimson Tide Sports Network from the airfield. With this call to bullpen, remind you that Alabama softball is brought to you by Barkley GMC, the best place to buy a vehicle in Tuscaloosa, and proud sponsors of the Crimson Tide. Visit barkleygmc.com today. Barkley makes it easy. After going 4 innings, Emily Winstead will turn things over to the new pitcher for the Crimson Tide, the junior from Fairhope, Alabama, the transfer from LSU, Ailey Johnson, as Alabama leads at 6-0 as we move to the top of the 5th inning.
And Ailey comes in with a 4.24 ERA on the season, 3-2 record, 27th appearance, 39 2/3 innings, 40 hits, 29 runs, 24 earned, 15 walks, and 39 strikeouts. And I know the changeup is her best weapon, but I'm probably starting her out with the hard stuff before you go to the changeup, and maybe don't even whip it out until you really, really have to here in this inning.
Emily Winstead goes 4 innings, gave up 1 hit, no runs, 1 walk, and 4 strikeouts, 54 pitches, and 37 strikes. Through 4 innings, like you said, Gray, just doing her job, putting Alabama in a position to be able to finish this one off. 6 runs on 7 hits, no errors, 4 left for Alabama, no runs on 1 hit, 1 error, and 2 left for Jackson State as the first pitch to Brooklyn Morris is low and away for ball 1. Morris is 0 for 1 with a ground out.
To have a final in Lubbock, Texas Tech has beaten Brown 6-0.
The 1-0, fouled away, 1 ball, 1 strike. Gray, I was in the middle of telling you Alabama softball in the state and then rudely interrupted by Alabama scoring runs. So let me finish.
How dare they?
Yes. As I mentioned, Alabama on a 5-game win streak on this date back in 2009. First the 1-1 to Morris. Called strike 1 and 2. Bama beat Texas 10-1 in 6 innings in the Tuscaloosa Regional. Last time out on the state was a 9-0 5-inning win over Washington for the Tide in the 2015 Tuscaloosa Regional. 1-2 drops in low, 2 balls and 2 strikes.
A unique time that was. That was a Washington team with Taryn Alvello.
Yeah.
They didn't host.
They did not. The 2-2 fouled away. We'll do it again, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Unfortunately, Washington would get their revenge in Super Regionals a couple years later.
Yeah, I'm sad I missed that. Boy, that foul ball almost got Marley in the throat.
Yeah, she smiles. Luckily, she's okay. She got the face mask down just in time to keep that one from getting her throat. Another 2-2. That one's a one-hopper to first. Dukecher makes a stop, steps on the bag for out number 1. One other change out in the field for Alabama. Kristen White is your new center fielder. Audrey Vandegrift moves over to left. And that brings up Beja Allen, Disney player, 0 for 1. She struck out her first time. First pitch. Call strike. Allen, a senior from Elk Grove, California. A lot of West Coast representation on the Jackson State roster. The 0-1 is a little bit low, I guess, 1-1.
Well, and if you look at the SWAC rosters, the teams who can kind of recruit a little bit everywhere are the ones who you'll see more at the top of the standings. You know, Florida A&M has a great base in Florida, but they bring in a lot of kids from around the country too.
1-1 change in there for a strike, 1 and 2.
I think Prairie View A&M utilizes the Texas part of the world, and then they can dip into the West Coast every now and then.
The 1-2 outside, 2 balls, 2 strikes. 1 out, nobody on, 6-0 Alabama as we play here in the top of the 5th inning. The score was to hold. Alabama would advance and take on Virginia Tech tomorrow morning at 11. 2-2 is fouled off. We'll do it again. 2 balls and 2 strikes.
I saw Coach DeMore and the gang sitting here somewhere. Can't find them in the stands. They're sitting here scouting, getting some views in. Happy day late birthday to Pete DeMore's son, by the way. Turned 4 yesterday. Having a Bluey birthday party this weekend.
Oh,
which,
that's the best.
Jealous.
Time called by the hitter, Allen, resetting the pitch clock. Two. Right in there for a called strike 3. Allen down on strikes. The first strikeout of the day by Ailey Johnson in relief.
And this one just barrels down on her on the outer half of the plate. There's not much to this. It might just be straight fastball. There's a little screw movement to it, but nothing crazy. Just a spot right on the edge. Good location, good pitch.
So 2 out, nobody on for the catcher. Christina Carlson fouls the first pitch away for strike 1. She had a fly out her first time.
Scoreboard update from Norman. Now 7-0 going to the 4th. Oklahoma over Boston U. So Arkansas quickly up 2-0 in the bottom of the 1st on St. Louis.
0-1. Low, 1 ball, 1 strike. Can we send Boston U anywhere else?
You would think, because they're not geographically located anywhere close to any hosts ever.
I don't think the default is send them to Norman should be the case. As that one's fouled back. 1 ball, 2 strikes for anyone.
And not just as like they've been as a 3, as a 4.
Right. Like a year where they could have really made some noise in the tournament.
Last year.
They got sent to Norman as a 3.
They were, I believe, 50-4.
Yeah. 1-2. Comes in high, 2 balls and 2 strikes.
And we could go on, and we have, about some of the issues that we've got with the way the committee has gone about things.
Might I point you to the Out of the Box podcast?
At @outofthebox_pod?
Yes. The 2-2. Changeup swung on and missed for strike 3. And just the best changeup of the day so far for Ailey Johnson. Sits down Carlson, and the Tigers go down in order here in the 5th.
Yeah, when it dips like this, I mean, what are you going to do? Starting at the knees, falling off the table. Just a beautifully done changeup by Ailey Johnson, and I love the fact that she's getting a little bit of work. Alabama 2 runs away from ending this one early, but at the same time, if Brea Hodges were to get an inning, maybe in the 6th, wouldn't be opposed. Just so far, Alabama's kind of doing everything we wanted them to do here today against Jackson State.
For Jackson State in the 5th, 3 up and 3 down. We stretch here in Tuscaloosa. We move to the bottom of the 5th. 6-0 Crimson Tide here on the Crimson Tide Sports Network from Learfield. head to the bottom of the 5th inning. Alabama with a 6-0 lead over Jackson State. Due up for the Tide here in the 5th. It'll be Hawkins, Elstad, and Hubbard against a new pitcher for Jackson State, as Brooklyn Morris will turn things over to the right-handed senior from Fontana, California, Sofia Gonzalez.
Gonzalez on the year, a 5.05 ERA, 7-5 record, 15th appearance, 62 1/3 innings, 86 hits, 57 runs, 45 earned, 15 walks, 20 strikeouts. Opponents hitting north of 300 against Gonzalez, who will bring it mid-50s. Rise, change at about 43. Curve and screw works a little more true east and west than anybody else on the staff. I really like this move by Coach Montgomery. I like giving the senior an opportunity here today because she threw last year in their regional and didn't throw poorly, just wasn't helped out by a couple errors behind her. So giving her a shot here on the big stage in the 5th inning.
Salem Hawkins to lead things off, 1 for 2 on the day, had a 2 RBI double and scored back in the 3rd inning. Sofia Gonzalez steps in, or will give the first pitch. It's low and inside for ball 1, and excuse me, that did bounce up and hit Salem Hawkins, so Salem will head down to first on the hit by pitch on the first pitch of relief by Gonzalez.
You know, Tom, a little peek behind the curtain. We were all watching softball in the clubhouse before the team went to go warm up, and there was a hit by pitch that was reviewed, and it was upheld even though none of us thought it was a hit by pitch. And so we said, hey, if it comes near you, just go.
Just go.
And that one came near Salem, did hit her, but she went.
Brooke Ellisad steps in,
Oh.
and the first pitch fell out of Gonzalez's hand, and Hawkins will take second.
I think it hit her leg.
Hit her head, or hit her leg?
Yeah, so no, it just straight fell out of the hand. I think it just slipped out, maybe the humidity. Good awareness by Hawkins to just kind of go. I think she was probably taken off anyway.
So that is a ball. And Hawkins steals second.
It's not the best start for Gonzalez.
The 1-0 is to the backstop. And this is going poorly as Hawkins moves to third.
Oh, boy.
Okay, so it's not a stolen base for Salem Hawkins. Actually, that's a wild pitch. And then she'll move to third on another wild pitch.
Little chin music there for Elistad, and that'll be that for Gonzalez.
So let me give you Brooklyn Morris's line real quickly. She went 4 innings, gave up 7 hits, 6 runs, 2 earned, 2 walks, and 2 strikeouts, 73 pitches, and 44 strikes thrown by Morris. And Sofia Gonzalez now will give way to another pitcher, as coming in to throw for the Tigers is going to be junior righty from Coalinga, California, DeVry.
No, I got you. It's Madison McDowell.
Oh,
the person
what?
you're
Oh,
looking
excuse
for
me.
is not there.
Well, then that's why.
She's not on that sheet.
Who is this person?
Madison McDowell, a 6.49 ERA on the year. I saw you looking.
I was like, wait a second.
It was verse 32.
Yeah.
0-3 record, 12th appearance, 22 2/3 innings, 30 hits, 31 runs, 21 earned, 11 walks, and 4 strikeouts. Opponents batting 300 against McDowell. Did not watch film on her, so we will all learn together. Looks like about low to mid-50s, saw a little up on that last pitch, and I liked what Jackson State was trying to do for Gonzalez, and then she just did not help her cause out really at all.
No.
Probably the best pitch of the 3 was the first one that hit Salem Hawkins.
Yeah, Gonzalez will leave, not recording an out, hitting a batter, and committing 2 wild pitches. And she's responsible for the runner on third. So Elistad will bat now with a 2-0 count. 1 for 2 on the day, had that RBI single in the third, snapping an 0 for 14 streak. So McDowell, the righty, toes rubber. The 2-0 is a called strike. 2 balls and a strike now on Elistad.
Quick scoreboard update for you. Southeastern has tied it at 3 with LSU. Top of the 4th in Baton Rouge. Also Santa Clara, an early 1-0 lead on Arizona in Tucson.
Okay.
I'll ask you about baseball after this pitch.
The 2-1. Low, 3-1. Bama baseball. Elsewhere on the Crimson Tide Sports Network, they're in the top of the 4th, and Alabama has tied things up with Florida. It's 2-2.
Look at it all coming together.
3-1 to Elistad. And that one send to center field. On the run, making the catch is Stevens, tagging up from third. And coming in to score is Salem Hawkins. And Bama now leads it 7-0 on the sacrifice fly.
Yeah, that pitch hanging a little bit over the outer part of the plate. Elistad, pretty good piece, certainly deep enough for Hawkins to come in and score and take advantage of all the mayhem that started this inning.
That will bring up Mighty Hubbard. 0 for 2 with a line out and a ground out. First pitch, high and away for ball 1. We saw it last week, Gray, with the SEC softball tournament, how that was just a absolute dogfight between all the teams of the SEC. Baseball is going to be the same way next week.
Oh my gosh, buckle up, Hoover, for many reasons.
The 1-0. Hubbard with a fly ball to right. But Gibson's there. She'll settle underneath it to make the catch for out number 2.
Unfortunately, not quite the day I think Mighty Hubbard wanted as the DP, so it looks like Patrick Murphy, in the position that he's in right now, will give somebody else an opportunity to maybe make a statement here with a pinch hitter.
Lex Papillo will be the pinch hitter, the junior transfer from Northern Iowa, making her NCAA tournament debut.
Always special, hitting .308, 37 of 120, 30 RBIs, 7 homers, a triple, 5 doubles, 24 runs driven in, and not only getting a chance here, but also she's got the pop in the bat that she can end this bad boy right now with one swing.
First pitch, outside for ball 1. Alabama leads at 7-0 here in the 5th, so one more run would end this game early. Called strike, 1 ball, 1 strike.
And Papillo did have a home run against Alabama State earlier this year, SWAC team, so she's had success.
That one bounces in, 2-1. Down in Montgomery, hit one right off the right field foul pole.
Final, Stanford takes down Binghamton 9-2.
2-1 to Papillo, high and away, 3-1. The 3-1. Oh, that came in and got Papillo on the arm. So she'll head down to first. On the hit by pitch, that would have been ball 4 anyway.
And Lex is frustrated, I think, even more so than being hit by the pitch, by the fact that she got absolutely nothing in that at-bat to go after.
Right.
And, you know, when you're being given a shot there, you're like, just give me something. I want to swing. And she's like, you take the walk, you're fine with it, but that's one where you're like, that's my one, really?
Right, yeah.
Wouldn't be shocked if she stays in to play first for Dutcher, honestly, if we do have a 6th inning.
And she's not being quickly replaced to run, so that may be the case. As Larissa Pruitt will step in. Pruitt's 1 for 2, reached on error and scored in the 3rd, singled and scored in the 4th. First pitch, called strike. Again, Virginia Tech beat Belmont 5-0 earlier today, so the winner of this one will take on the Hokies tomorrow at 11. If the score holds and it's Alabama, we'll be on the air at 10:45. That one's lined to center, and that's down for a base hit. A 2 for 3 day for Larissa Pruitt. And tied now has runners on first and second with 2 away.
Well, and that could be so huge if it is Alabama, Virginia Tech tomorrow, which, I mean, I feel
Certainly,
like we're getting there.
Right.
Because Larissa Pruitt was such a huge part of that series in February, and kind of the last month and a half has been quiet, has been inconsistent. If you can get her hitting and confident like she was in February, then tomorrow could be a real blockbuster.
Audrey Vandergriff will be the batter, 1 for 3 with a single and a run scored on the day. First pitch is low for ball 1. Bama now out hitting Jackson State 8-1. Outscoring them 7-0, trying to finish it off here in the bottom of the 5th. The 1-0. Low, 2 balls, no strikes.
I cannot wait to talk to Audrey after the game about the slap. Like, was that something that she decided to do? Was that a call? We could have seen Patrick Murphy call a slap and run on that play right there. I'm fascinated to find out because that was such a mature move from the freshman her last time up.
2-0. In the dirt, 3 balls and no strikes. But also, if you're not getting anything to hit from McDowell at all, you just have to be patient and let her walk you.
Just sit there and take it.
Yep.
Let them go by you.
Carlson goes out and has a word with her.
And Jackson State, too, this is the other tough part about regionals. Their number 2 is Georgina Gant, but you got to be thinking about tomorrow.
Yep.
And, you know, the possibility of maybe playing Maya Johnson. So they've got to have their second arm ready to go for that game, too.
The 3-0. Called strike, 3-1. Johnson did not go a complete game against Virginia Tech. Once the Hokies got a significant lead in that one, Johnson was pulled, probably with that same thought in mind. The 3-1 is outside for ball 4, and now the bases are loaded with 2 outs, and the game-ending run stands on third for Kristen White.
K-Dub hitting .314, 27 of 86, 5 RBIs, 23 runs on the year. A career .450 hitter in regionals, 9 for 20, with a singular RBI and 6 runs.
Batting in the spot that was occupied by Lauren Johnson, who hit 1 for 3 with a single and an RBI. First pitch is high for ball 1. Gilzea says, take your running mid out of the back pocket. Some umpires don't care. Some will make them take it out.
We haven't met Gil yet, so we're all learning together.
The 1-0. High, 2-0. I do believe this is the first game I've seen Gil. Maybe his first ever trip to the road.
And this is the first time I've ever seen Joe Havenhill. Sean Shoemaker and Don Brown we've known.
Yeah. This one, if you're McDowell, you got to throw a strike on 2-0.
And your full take if you're White.
Pulled back the bunt, took it for a strike, 2-1. That one's in the dirt, bounces away, and here comes Papillo. She will score. And Alabama will win the ball game 8-0 on a game-ending wild pitch.
Always thrilling.
Crowd pleasing.
Another one, Kristen White's like, dang it, I get a shot. And I mean, come on.
Yeah.
She was telling Papillo to come on, and I'm sure back of her mind, she was like, or stay. It's fine.
Right.
I mean, if you're Alabama, honestly, this was going to be a game where, like, just go and win it. Like, you're not going to learn a lot about yourself, really. This is such a frankly kind of weird matchup compared to what you're going to get the rest of the weekend. Just don't mess around, take care of business, do what you got to do, accomplish a couple things, make sure that the 1 and 2 do not make an appearance, and get it 1 through 9. And that's certainly what we saw here tonight from the Crimson Tide. Really, really well done, and way to take advantage of the mistakes that were committed by Jackson State. That's probably the biggest theme of this game.
With the win, Alabama improves their record to 38-21. Jackson State falls to 29-24. The Crimson Tide advances in the Tuscaloosa Regional. They'll take on Virginia Tech tomorrow at 11 o'clock. 10:45 will be the airtime here on the Crimson Tide Sports Network. Jackson State falls into the losers bracket. They'll play an elimination game against Belmont tomorrow at 1:30. Alabama 8 runs on 8 hits, no errors, and 4 left. Jackson State no runs on 1 hit, 1 error. 2 runners left on base. Emily Winstead is the winning pitcher. She is now 8-3 on the year. Brooklyn Morris will take the loss. She's now 13-9. Bama wins it by run rule fashion here in 5 innings. The final score of 8-0 over Jackson State. We'll take a timeout, come back with the Alabama softball post-game report right after this here on the Crimson Tide Sports Network from Learfield.
Field under the broadcasting rights granted by the University of Alabama. Reuse of this presentation is prohibited without the expressed written consent of the university and Learfield. Announcers are provided by Learfield and approved by the university.
1-0 to Hawkins is hit towards left. That'll get all the way to the wall. One run will score as Heveland crosses. Marley Giles races for home. Hawkins stops at second. That's a 2 RBI double. And that's a lot of damage done after the early error in this inning. 3-0 Alabama here in the third. And Hawkins stands on second for Brooke Elistad, who hits it out to right. That'll end the hitless streak. Hawkins is heading for home. The throw got away. She scored. Elistad moves to second. It's 4-0 Alabama on the RBI single from Brooke Elistad.
1-0. That's a chopper up the middle. Murillo's going to collect it in front of the second base bag. Makes the stop in the throw to get the runner at first, but coming in to score is Pruitt. And the RBI ground out makes it now 5-0 Alabama. 1-0, Heveland lines it to left. That's going to fall for a base hit. And the second RBI of the day for a consistent Cali makes it now 6-0 Crimson Tide. 1-0, Heveland lines it to left. That's going to fall for a base hit. And the second RBI of the day for a consistent Cali makes it now 6-0 Crimson Tide. That one's in the dirt, bounces away.
10 seconds.
Papillo. She will score, and Alabama will win the ball game 8-0 on a game-ending wild pitch. And that would be your final score, 8-0 in 5 innings. Alabama beats Saxon State to advance in the winner's bracket of this Tuscaloosa Regional. The Tide will take on Virginia Tech tomorrow. Jackson State falls in the loser's bracket. They'll play an elimination game tomorrow against Belmont. Tom Canterbury, Gray Robertson here for the Alabama Softball post-game report presented by the Alabama Crimson Tide mobile app. Keep up with everything Alabama with the Alabama Crimson Tide mobile app presented by Cadence Bank. Download it now for free at the App Store and Google Play. Gray, Alabama did what they needed to do. Got a good start from Emily Winstead in the circle. Haley Johnson looked good in relief for the Crimson Tide. Not a whole lot of stress after the first couple of innings in this ball game. Alabama took the lead with that 4-run third inning and cruised to victory here on day one of the regional, which, as a seeded team, you are more than likely supposed to do.
Yeah, unless the committee does you dirty like they did a few teams.
That's happened.
I'm fine with this. It, again, this was the kind of game coming in where it's like, just win it. There's not much you can do. You're not going to see an explosive rise ball in this game like you're going to see tomorrow from Emma Limley. You're not going to see some of the home run power in this game that you're going to see tomorrow like Corey McMillan. Just win the game. Just take care of business. Do it cleanly. Do it quickly. Do it efficiently. We saw that. Make sure that the arms who you're not starting do not appear at all. Brisky and Caitlin Riley, neither of them threw a pitch. Yep. That's great stuff. Already an edge you've got over the team you're facing tomorrow and their ace. And offensively, they adjusted. And we saw a lot of players do different stuff at the plate, wait on the changeup, barrel up different things. There are still a couple questions. I'm not necessarily sure that Maddie Hubbard secured the DP spot today, even though there were a few good at-bats. She was 0 for 3. So a couple things for Patrick Murphy to think about going into tomorrow. But all told, this is kind of the typical Alabama way to start off a regional, honestly. More often than not, these are the types of games that you see, and it's another shutout for this team to kick off the NCAA tournament.
Here are the final stats. We'll start with Jackson State, who falls to 29-24 with the loss. No runs on 1 hit, 1 error, and 2 runners left on base. Kalia Gibson was 0 for 2. Mari Stevens was 0 for 2. Jace Jackson was 1 for 2, had the lone hit in the ball game for the Tigers. Mia Alvarez was 0 for 2. Gabrielle Willis 0 for 2. Brooklyn Morris 0 for 2. Beja Allen 0 for 2. Christina Carlson was 0 for 2. In the circle for the Tigers, Brooklyn Morris takes the loss. She's now 13-9. 4 innings, 7 hits, 6 runs, 2 earned, 2 walks, and 2 strikeouts, 73 pitches and 44 strikes thrown by Morris. Sophia Gonzalez did not record an out. No hits, 1 run, it was earned, no walks, and no strikeouts, 3 pitches, no strikes thrown by Gonzalez. And Madison McDowell went the final 2/3, gave up 1 hit, 1 run, it was earned, 1 walk, and no strikeouts, 17 pitches and 7 strikes. That actually should be 1 full inning for McDowell. For Alabama, they improved to 38-21 with the victory. 4 runs in the third, 2 in the fourth, and 2 in the fifth for their 8 runs on 8 hits, no errors, and 4 runners left on base. Audrey Vandegrift was 1 for 3 with a walk and a run scored. Lauren Johnson was 1 for 3 with an RBI. Callie Heblin was 2 for 3, 2 RBIs and a run scored. Marley Giles was 0 for 1, 2 walks and a run scored. Salem Hawkins 1 for 2, 2 RBIs and 2 runs scored. Brooke Ellisad 1 for 2 with 2 RBIs. Maddie Hubbard was 0 for 3. Abby Dukeshire 0 for 2. Lexa Pillow was hit by a pitch and scored a run. And Larissa Pruitt 2 for 3 on the day with 2 runs scored. Emily Winstead got the win. She's now 8-3. She went 4 innings, 1 hit, no runs, 1 walk, and 4 strikeouts. Winstead went 54 pitches and 37 strikes. Ailey Johnson went an inning, no hits, no runs, no walks, and 2 strikeouts, 17 pitches, and 11 strikes thrown by Ailey. Time of the game, 1 hour, 31 minutes, 2,465 the attendance here in Tuscaloosa for day number 1 of the Tuscaloosa Regional. Alabama gets a run rule win over Jackson State, 8-0.
Yeah.
A couple things jump out for me in the offensive lineup for Alabama, starting with Larissa Pruitt at the bottom of the order. 2 for 3 day, a couple of runs scored. She's one that put it in play, that started the error, that got the 3rd inning going for Alabama, but then 2 more hits afterwards. So good day from the bottom of the order for the Crimson Tide. Big
for Larissa's confidence as well. Good to see a couple RBIs on a hit for Brooke Ellisad. She's been doing they haven't been horrible outs, but I felt like it was Adams or I almost missed a gap. But, it was good, I'm sure, for her to see one get through. And now that she's seen one get through, hopefully that takes the lid off the basket for her. Lauren Johnson played well. I'm not sure anybody's putting this on their reel, but it was just an all-around solid game, exactly what you're supposed to do before you get ready for the ultimate test that's tomorrow. Because, today was easy.
Just make
more
sure,
or less,
right.
Just take care of business. Just don't step over your own feet. Tomorrow is the one that a lot of people are going to tune in on. I wouldn't be shocked if it turns into a linear game at 11 a.m. The nation is going to be watching, and you're going to be playing a team that's coming in with a chip on their shoulder. And I'm sure we'll talk about it in a minute, but you got to make sure that you use tonight as a chance to make sure you're in the right mindset for that contest tomorrow.
Virginia Tech looked good earlier today. We will move forward to that matchup tomorrow with the Hokies. Tech looked good earlier today, got the 5-0 win over Belmont. And 2 teams that we even talked about with Patrick Murphy in our pregame interview, 2 teams that played earlier in the year. They came to Tuscaloosa for the Bama Bash, and it was a game. Virginia Tech won the first one. Alabama run-ruled the Hokies in the second one, which is a departure from what we normally see, because it's usually really good games when these 2 teams get together. But as Patrick Murphy said, that was a long time ago this season. So, yes, you have seen Emma Limley before. Virginia Tech has seen Jocelyn Brisky or Caitlin Riley, whoever starts for the Crimson Tide. But, they will have to make adjustments for sure based on what they saw a few months ago.
It's going to be a classic Saturday game in a regional. And we've seen some of those over the years. I'm thinking, the last couple of years it was 3 seeds, but before that, Alabama-Stanford was a great game. I know Stanford won, but it was a great softball game. We've seen Alabama-Arizona State. It's always going to be a battle. And one of the things that I'm sure both of us were watching out for was how's Virginia Tech going to respond to being the slighted team. I think a lot of people, myself included, thought they were going to host the Hokies, and they did not. Back in 2017, Minnesota was that team, and they came here, and we've told this story a million times. It didn't seem like they got over it. It seemed like it was in the back of their minds the entire regional, and they lost. Yeah. I did not get that feeling from Virginia Tech. In the press conference, I don't think that's how Pete DeMoore operates. I think that they're a team that's like, okay, whatever, let's just go. Yeah. And I think that almost makes it even a stiffer challenge for Alabama tomorrow, because you're going to play a Virginia Tech team that probably feels like they have nothing to lose at all. So Alabama's got to be on their A game 100% against the Hokies, and you're going to need everybody to bring it. You're going to need the crowd to bring it, and you're going to need to make sure that you do the film work. I think if you're Alabama, you prepare for Emma Limley and adjust if it's Mazzarone or somebody else, but be ready for Limley. Understanding, even though she threw today, she's the workhorse, she's a senior. She's probably getting the ball tomorrow for the Hokies.
She did throw earlier today. She did not go complete, but she did throw 95 pitches against Belmont. So she was worked, but as you mentioned, she is not unaccustomed to throwing 2 days in a row. She's done that several times for the Hokies here this year in ACC play. So, Yeah, I would assume it is going to be Emma Limley for Virginia Tech, and as we mentioned, it can be either Jocelyn Brisky or Caitlin Riley going for Alabama.
Yeah, and I think my main message to the fans listening, if you're tuning in and you have a ticket to tomorrow, make sure you come. If you can't come, make sure somebody's in your seat, and make sure when you're here, you turn this into postseason roads.
Yeah.
Because Virginia Tech has played here in February and in March. Look, the crowds are okay. They're solid for Alabama early in the year.
Right.
There are going to be a lot more people here. But you can only make the environment tougher with more people if everybody's in. If you've got kind of the Oklahoma series mindset, if you're hanging from the rafters an hour out, bring it. Bring it. Do everything you can to make a difference because
get here early, get it rolling.
Yes. Like there's a reason the host teams often win. It's because of the home field advantage. Alabama's got arguably the best home field advantage in America. Utilize it tomorrow, and it starts with the fans bringing it 100% from the word go.
Anything else you want to add before we wrap things up here and get ready for winner's bracket matchup tomorrow?
No, I am grateful to Alabama and Jackson State for wrapping up so we can go catch the end of LSU Southeastern and keep supporting softball. Like, there are a lot of good games tonight.
Yeah.
Check them out on the ESPN family networks, linear or digital, and be ready to go tomorrow because I tell you, like, today was, for a postseason game, pretty stressless. Tomorrow, it gets hardcore real.
It ratchets it up.
Oh, yeah, and if you aren't ready, then you'll see what happens. I think Alabama's ready. I think this is the kind of performance that puts them in the right mindset and confidence place going into that matchup. But now you got to do it. And I'm excited to see what the Tide can turn up against the Hokies tomorrow morning.
That's going to do it for this broadcast. The Bama Softball Post-Game Report. The Vice President and General Manager of the Crimson Tide Sports Network is Jim Carabin. Our CTSN Booth Cam producer has been Ethan Carabin, and our studio engineer has been Kelly Freeman. For Gray Robertson and everyone here at the Crimson Tide Sports Network, I'm Tom Canterbury saying thank you for joining us as Alabama gets the 8-0 run rule win over Jackson State. Tune in again tomorrow as Alabama continues play in the Tuscaloosa Regional Winners Bracket taking on Virginia Tech. Airtime is 10:45 here on the Crimson Tide Sports Network. Until then, roll Tide!